If you are gluten-free and constantly wondering what to make for dinner on a busy weeknight, you know the struggle of finding meals that are both quick and actually satisfying. But this list of gluten-free dinners proves you do not have to spend hours in the kitchen or settle for bland, boring food. One smart swap in these recipes keeps the texture perfect without any complicated flour blends. I will show you exactly how to make that work in a simple, foolproof way. These meal ideas are designed to fit right into your family's weeknight routine without anyone feeling like they are missing out. Expect creamy pastas, crispy tacos, and cozy. Let's kick things off with a dinner that feels like a hug in a bowl but takes almost no effort. This one-pan lemon herb chicken and rice is perfect for those nights when you want something hearty without spending an hour in the kitchen. You just sear some chicken thighs in a skillet, then toss in rice, broth, and a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. A sprinkle of dried herbs like thyme and oregano adds all the flavor without any chopping. Let it all simmer together until the rice is tender and the chicken is juicy. If you need it dairy-free, skip the butter and use olive oil instead for the same rich taste. The best part is how the rice soaks up all those savory juices, making every bite feel cozy and satisfying. Once you've got that down, let's move to a dish that's just as easy but totally different in flavor. Next up, we have a dinner that comes together faster than you can say Tuesday night. These 15-minute black bean tacos are a lifesaver when you're short on time but still want something fun and filling. You simply warm up canned black beans in a skillet with a little cumin and chili powder. While they heat, you can prep your favorite toppings like shredded lettuce, diced tomatoes, and a dollop of dairy-free sour cream. Soft corn tortillas make this naturally gluten-free, so you don't have to worry about swaps. For extra protein, toss in some crumbled tofu or leftover grilled chicken if you have it. These tacos feel like a little party on your plate, and they're so quick you'll wonder why you ever ordered takeout. Now, let's switch gears to something warm and comforting that's ready in a single pot. This creamy sun-dried tomato pasta is the kind of meal that makes you feel like you're treating yourself even on a busy weeknight. It works beautifully because it uses pantry staples and comes together in under 20 minutes. You start by cooking your favorite gluten-free pasta, then saute garlic and sun-dried tomatoes in a little olive oil. Stir in some canned coconut milk for that luscious, creamy texture without any dairy. Toss the cooked pasta right into the pan and let it soak up all that rich, tangy sauce. If you want a little extra green, throw in a handful of fresh spinach at the end and let it wilt. This dish feels indulgent and fancy, but it's secretly one of the simplest meals you can make. Stick around because our next dish is all about bold flavors with hardly any cleanup. This list of gluten-free dinners is packed with options for busy nights. Which one of these 18 ideas would you try first? Let me know in the comments below. I love hearing which recipes catch your eye. Your feedback helps me create more content you actually want to see. While you are here, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the Healthy Bites tribe grow. Keep watching for more meal ideas coming up next. For a dinner that looks impressive but requires almost zero hands-on time, try this sheet pan salmon and asparagus. It's a perfect choice when you want something light yet satisfying without a pile of dishes. Just line a baking sheet with parchment, place salmon fillets and asparagus spears on it, and drizzle with olive oil and lemon. A sprinkle of garlic powder and a pinch of salt is all the seasoning you need to let the natural flavors shine. Pop it in the oven for about 12 minutes and you've got a complete meal ready to go. You can swap the asparagus for broccoli or green beans depending on what you have in the fridge. The salmon comes out flaky and tender, while the asparagus gets perfectly crisp, making every forkful a delight. Next, let's look at a dish that brings big comfort in a bowl with hardly any effort. This quick beef and vegetable stir-fry is your answer to a fast, flavorful dinner that beats any takeout. It's ideal for busy nights because it cooks in one skillet and takes less than 15 minutes from start to finish. Thinly slice some beefsteak and stir-fry it in a hot pan with a little sesame oil until browned. Toss in a bag of frozen stir-fry vegetables, which saves you all the chopping time. Whisk together a simple sauce using tamari, ginger, and a touch of honey, then pour it over everything. For a gluten-free twist, make sure your tamari is certified gluten-free and serve it over rice or cauliflower rice. The savory sauce coats every piece of beef and veggie, giving you that satisfying umami kick you crave. Up next, we have a one-bowl wonder that's perfect for meal prep or a lazy evening. Let's end this first batch of ideas with loaded sweet potato nachos, a fun twist on a classic snack-turned-dinner. These are great for weeknights because they're customizable, quick to assemble, and bake in just 20 minutes. Slice sweet potatoes into thin rounds, toss them with oil and salt, then bake until they're crispy on the edges. Top them with seasoned black beans, dairy-free cheese shreds, and a few jalapeno slices for heat. Pop them back in the oven just until the cheese melts, then finish with fresh avocado and a squeeze of lime. You can easily make this nut-free by skipping any nut-based cheese and using a simple cashew-free alternative. These nachos are crunchy, creamy, and packed with flavor, making them a dinner the whole family will love. There's plenty more where that came from, so keep watching for even more quick gluten-free dinners coming your way. Next up is a dish that feels like a warm hug on a busy weeknight, shrimp and grits. This classic southern favorite is naturally gluten-free when you use stone-ground corn grits, and it comes together in under 20 minutes. You start by simmering your grits in broth or water until they're creamy and tender, then set them aside. In the same skillet, you cook some shrimp with garlic, a little smoked paprika, and a splash of lemon juice until they're pink and juicy. Pour the shrimp and all those flavorful pan juices right over the bed of grits for a one skillet meal that feels fancy but is actually super simple. If you want to keep it dairy-free, swap the butter in the grits for a splash of olive oil or your favorite plant-based butter. The combination of creamy grits and savory, slightly smoky shrimp is pure comfort food magic. And once you've had a taste of that, let's move on to another quick skillet dinner that's just as satisfying. Now let's talk about chicken lettuce wraps, which are basically the perfect handheld dinner for busy nights. They're light, fresh, and come together in about 15 minutes, making them ideal when you want something quick but still exciting. You brown some ground chicken in a skillet with garlic and ginger, then stir in a simple sauce made from gluten-free tamari, a little rice vinegar, and a touch of honey. Toss in some diced water chestnuts and shredded carrots for crunch, and let everything cook together for just a couple of minutes. Spoon the warm filling into crisp butter lettuce cups, and you've got a meal that's both fun to eat and totally gluten-free. For a vegetarian version, you can swap the chicken for crumbled firm tofu or chopped mushrooms. Everyone loves the contrast of the cool, crunchy lettuce against the warm, savory filling. Once you've wrapped up that dish, let's keep the veggie-forward momentum going with a noodle-free pasta idea. If you are looking for even more recipes like these, I have a helpful resource for you. Head over to www.healthybitestribe.com. That is our online home for all things allergy-friendly and gluten-free. You will find an AI recipe generator that can create meals based on what you have in your pantry. There is also a meal planner to help you organize your week. You can save your favorite recipes and share them with friends. It is a practical tool for anyone managing dietary restrictions. Check it out when you need more quick dinner inspiration. If you're craving pasta but want to keep it light and gluten-free, zucchini noodles with pesto and cherry tomatoes are a total game changer. This dish is ready in under 10 minutes, which makes it a lifesaver on those nights when you barely have time to breathe. You spiralize a couple of zucchini into noodles, then quickly sop them in a hot pan for just 2 to 3 minutes so they stay tender but not watery. Toss in a generous spoonful of your favorite pesto, store-bought or homemade, and a handful of Hab cherry tomatoes. Let everything warm through for another minute, and you've got a vibrant, flavorful bowl that feels like summer on a plate. To add protein, throw in some grilled chicken or chickpeas, and if you need a nut-free pesto, use sunflower seeds instead of pine nuts. The bright basil and sweet tomatoes pair perfectly with the mild zucchini, making this a dish you'll actually crave. And speaking of quick veggie-packed meals, let's move on to a stuffed pepper situation that's anything but boring. Stuffed bell peppers are one of those meals that look impressive but are secretly super easy to throw together. They're naturally gluten-free when you use quinoa or rice as the base, and you can prep them ahead for an even faster weeknight dinner. You cook some quinoa in broth until fluffy, then mix it with seasoned ground turkey, diced onions, and a can of fire-roasted tomatoes. Stuff that mixture into halved bell peppers, top with a little shredded cheese if you like, and bake until the peppers are tender and the filling is hot. The whole thing takes about 30 minutes from start to finish, and most of that is hands-off oven time. For a dairy-free version, skip the cheese or use a plant-based shred, and you can swap the turkey for lentils or black beans. The sweet, roasted peppers and savory filling make every bite feel hearty and satisfying. Once you've pulled those peppers out of the oven, let's turn to a skillet dish that brings bold Thai flavors to your table in no time. This Thai peanut chicken skillet is the kind of dinner that makes you feel like you ordered takeout, but it's ready in under 20 minutes. It's completely gluten-free when you use coconut aminos or tamari instead of soy sauce, and it's packed with flavor. You start by browning bite-sized chicken pieces in a hot skillet, then set them aside while you whip up the sauce. The sauce is a simple mix of peanut butter, coconut aminos, a squeeze of lime, and a little sriracha for heat. Just whisk and pour. Toss the chicken back in along with some steamed broccoli or snap peas, and let everything simmer together for a few minutes until the sauce thickens and coats everything. Serve it over rice or cauliflower rice, and if you have a peanut allergy, you can use sunflower seed butter or tahini instead. The creamy, nutty sauce with a hint of spice is absolutely addictive. And once you've had your fill of those Thai flavors, let's wrap things up with a one-pan dish that tastes just like your favorite takeout egg roll. Egg roll in a bowl is basically all the delicious filling of an egg roll without the wrapper, making it naturally gluten-free and incredibly quick. This dish comes together in about 15 minutes, which is perfect for those nights when you want something savory and satisfying fast. You brown some ground pork or chicken in a large skillet, then add shredded cabbage, shredded carrots, and a little minced garlic and ginger. Stir in a splash of gluten-free tamari and a drizzle of sesame oil, and cook until the cabbage is tender but still has a little crunch. Finish it with a sprinkle of green onions and sesame seeds, and you've got a meal that's full of texture and flavor. For a vegetarian version, use crumbled tofu or tempeh instead of meat, and add a dash of rice vinegar for extra tang. The savory, slightly sweet filling is so comforting that you will not even miss the wrapper. And with that, we've got one more quick dinner idea coming up next that's perfect for rounding out your weeknight rotation. Means 13 chicken and broccoli foil packets. This next one is all about making dinner with almost zero cleanup, and it's a total game changer on a busy night. These chicken and broccoli foil packets work perfectly because you prep everything on one piece of foil and let the oven do the rest. You just toss some chicken pieces and fresh broccoli florets onto a sheet of foil with a little garlic and ginger. Drizzle on some soy sauce and a touch of sesame oil, then fold up the foil to seal in all the steam. In about 20 minutes, you have tender chicken and perfectly cooked broccoli in a light, savory sauce. For a gluten-free swap, just use tamari or coconut aminos instead of regular soy sauce. These packets feel like a warm, comforting hug at the end of a long day, and the flavor is so satisfying. Plus, you can make them for just yourself or a whole family, which makes them super versatile. Render Z scene. Scene 14, ground turkey and sweet potato skillet. Here is a hearty one skillet meal that comes together in under 30 minutes and tastes incredibly cozy. This ground turkey and sweet potato skillet keeps things simple while giving you plenty of protein and veggies in one dish. Start by browning ground turkey in a large skillet. Then add diced sweet potatoes and a little onion. Let everything cook together until the sweet potatoes get tender and start to caramelize on the edges. Stir in some smoked paprika and cumin for warmth, then finish with a handful of spinach that wilts right into the mix. If you want a little heat, toss in some red pepper flakes or a dash of hot sauce. This one has that cozy, stick-to-your-ribs feeling without being heavy at all. It really shows how a few simple ingredients can make a dinner that feels special. Claves Scene 15, quick shrimp and avocado salad. Sometimes you just need something fresh and fast that still feels like a proper meal. This quick shrimp and avocado salad comes together in about 10 minutes and is perfect for those nights when you do not want to turn on the stove. You can use pre-cooked shrimp to save time or quickly saute raw shrimp with a little salt and pepper. Toss the shrimp with chunks of creamy avocado, some cucumber, and a squeeze of fresh lime juice. A simple drizzle of olive oil and a pinch of chili powder gives it just enough kick without overpowering anything. You can easily make it dairy-free and keep it naturally gluten-free without any special ingredients. This salad feels bright and refreshing, like a mini vacation on your plate, and it is so satisfying. It is also one of those meals that work for lunch or a light dinner without any fuss. Might Scene 16, gluten-free pizza with a cauliflower crust. You do not have to give up pizza night just because you are going gluten-free, and this version proves it. This gluten-free pizza with a cauliflower crust comes together fast using a pre-made cauliflower crust from the store or a simple homemade one. Just bake the crust until it is golden and crisp, then top it with your favorite tomato sauce and shredded mozzarella. Add whatever toppings you love like pepperoni, mushrooms, or sliced olives, and pop it back in the oven. In about 15 minutes, you have a pizza that is crispy on the outside and tender in the middle. You can use dairy-free cheese if you want to make it fully dairy-free and still get that gooey texture. This pizza feels indulgent and fun, just like a real pizza night should, but without the gluten. It really hits the spot when you are craving something comforting and familiar. Scene 17, Mediterranean chickpea and veggie bowl. This Mediterranean chickpea and veggie bowl is one of those meals that tastes like you spent way more time on it than you actually did. It is great for busy weeknights because everything comes together in one bowl with no complicated steps. Start with a base of cooked quinoa or rice, then pile on some chickpeas, chopped cucumber, cherry tomatoes, and sliced red onion. Add a handful of Kalamata olives and a generous drizzle of lemon tahini dressing for a creamy, tangy finish. You can even use canned chickpeas straight from the can. Just give them a quick rinse first. If you want to add some protein, toss in some grilled chicken or a few spoonfuls of hummus. This bowl feels fresh and zesty, and it is amazing how filling a plant-based meal can be. It is the kind of meal that makes you feel good from the very first bite. Scene 18, 5-ingredient beef and broccoli. For the final dish of this video, we are keeping it as simple as possible with a 5-ingredient beef and broccoli. This one is a lifesaver on the craziest nights when you want dinner fast without sacrificing flavor. Slice some flank steak into thin strips and brown it quickly in a hot skillet with a little oil. Add fresh broccoli florets in a simple sauce made from gluten-free tamari, honey, and minced garlic. Let everything cook together for just a few minutes until the broccoli is bright green and tender crisp. You can swap the beef for chicken or tofu if you like, and it will still turn out great. This dish feels like takeout, but it is ready in the time it takes to order delivery. I hope these quick gluten-free dinners make your weeknights a little easier and a whole lot more delicious. And there you have it, 18 quick gluten-free dinners to make your weeknights so much easier. You can pick and choose the ideas that work best for your family, your schedule, and your taste buds. I hope this collection gave you some fresh inspiration for your meal planning. If you enjoyed this roundup, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more helpful recipe ideas. For even more support, come join our online community at www.healthybitestribe.com. There you will find our AI recipe generator, a meal planner, and ways to save and share your favorite recipes. You can also chat with others who understand the journey of cooking with dietary restrictions. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.